Good morning students and welcome back to your science lecture. Today also we will learn our class 10 science chapter number 6, physical and chemical changes. Yes. So under this chapter in our last lecture we have learned physical and chemical changes through various experiments. Yes. Have you remembered that? So through this experiment we have seen what happened in physical changes and what happened in chemical changes. So here in today's lecture we will learn physical change in detail. Yes. So we know that the changes what are happening around us, these are classified into two types of changes, that are physical and chemical changes. Yes. So from that we will learn here physical change. Okay. So what is meant by physical change? The physical change means the change respected physical property. The change respected to physical properties. Yes. So here the change happen only respect to physical properties. So what is meant by physical properties? Which are the physical properties? The physical properties are those properties which can be observed, measure and can seen as well. Okay. So what are the physical property? I will repeat again. The physical properties are those the properties which can be observed, which can be measured, which can be seen. Like that properties are known as physical properties. So these physical properties are what we can observe, measure and see. Only external properties we can measure, we can see, we can observe. So that these physical properties are external properties only. These are external properties. So in external properties, which types of properties are? We will see here: color, shape, size, smell, melting point, boiling point, its appearance and again the texture of that substance. So this type of properties are external properties of that substance. So here in case of that physical change, the change will happen only in case of color, shape, size, smell, its melting point, its boiling point, appearance and texture. Only the change will happen in this type of properties. Okay. These are the external properties. Again, very important thing we can say for the physical change. What is that? The physical change is the reversible process. The physical change is reversible process. What is meant by reversible process? The process, such a process through which we can regain that substance. We can regain that substance. Such a property, such a process is known as reversible process. And irreversible process is what? Apart from this, in such a process in which we can't regain that original substance. So, the physical change is the reversible process, means in that we can regain the original substance. Yes. So, we will see through some examples. Very good examples I can give you. So see here, these are the broken pieces of glasses. These are the broken pieces of glasses. And these pieces are particularly of the bowls. It is a broken bowl. Yes. So, can you think, what do you think about that? Can we regain the bowl again from these pieces? Can we regain the bowl again from that pieces of glasses? Yes. Yes, definitely we can regain the bowl again from that pieces of glasses. How? Still it is time taking process, but it is definitely reversible process. Definitely reversible process means we have to melt that pieces of glasses in factory. Such type of process is happening. We have to melt these pieces of glasses, and then by the melted glass we can give the shape of that bowl to that melted glass. Means what is the important thing here? The material of that glass is not changed, even the glass is broken here. Yes, even the glass is broken into pieces, still the original material of that glass is not changed. Only it is minimized in size. The whole bowl was there at first, but now it is broken into pieces, into small pieces, so that only the size is changed, only the shape is changed, but the material is not changed, but the property of that glass is not changed here. We can melt that glass, and again we can form the bowl from this melted glass. Okay, so this is a very good example of the reversible process and physical property as well. So this breaking of glass is physical property. Okay, so students, we will see in our textbook, in our NCERT textbook, there are some activities related to physical changes. So we will see here one by one. So in activity 6.1, what is given? We will see here, we will discuss here. Here, one paper we have to take, yes. Then we have to tear the paper, yes. I tore it, again I tore it, again I tore it, and I made the pieces of that papers. So which type of process is that? Which type of process is this? To make the pieces of that whole paper? Which type of process? Chemical or physical? What do you think? It is a physical change. Why? Because only shape is changed here, only size is changed here, and the material. What is the material? This is the material of paper. Material of paper. It is not changed here at all. So, is it reversible process? What do you think? Is it reversible process? What do you think? Can we make the whole paper? Can we make the whole paper like that from these pieces of papers? Yes, definitely we can do that. We can make a whole paper from that pieces of paper. How? So we have to do process. We have to crush it. We have to add some chemicals, and then we have to make pulp. We have to make pulp of that papers, and then from that pulp again we can make the paper as like this. Okay, so means this is the reversible process. Typically it is a reversible process. So this was here your 6.1 activity. 6.1 activity, tearing of paper. Which type of process is that? This is a physical process, physical change. Okay, so this change is physical change. Note down that. And it is a reversible process. By making the pulp from these pieces, we can again form the paper. So that is important point. So the second activity is very important again. Usually we are using chalk. Here we can see piece of chalk. Again I made some more pieces of that chalk. So if I have broken that chalk, which type of change is that? Which type of change? It is a physical change. It is a physical change because only it is changed into small pieces. It is changed into small pieces. Only shape is changed, size is changed, but the texture, but the original material of that piece and the whole chalk is the same. That is calcium carbonate. And is that process is reversible process? Yes, what do you think? Yes, definitely it is a reversible process because if I made powder of that chalk, yes, here I made powder here. Are you seeing this powder? Here, powder of chalk I have made here. So from this powder, if I will add water, this is the powder of calcium carbonate, means the powder of the chalk. And if I will add water, what will happen here? Here, the paste will form, and from that paste, again I will give the shape like that. I have given here already the shape to that paste, and in this manner, and when it will dry in sunlight, what will happen? Again we will gain the chalk. Again we will get the chalk. Means that chalk will regain from that powder. Okay. So here clearly we can understand it is a reversible process and it is a physical process. From the powder again we can make the chalk like the same like the original chalk. Okay. So you can understand now it is a typically reversible process. So again one next activity 6.3 it is given. We will see here. So this activity is related to ice cubes. This activity is related to ice cubes. So melting of ice. Melting of ice, which type of process is that? Melting of ice, which type of process? Which type of process is that? So this melting of ice, are you seeing the ice? Yes. So this ice I have taken in that bowl. I have taken in that bowl. So now the ice is melted. Ice is melted. See? Yes. So now we can see here very clearly. We can see this ice is melted and it is get converted into liquid form. It is the cuboid. It is the cubes of that. These are the cubes of the ice, and now it is melted into water. It is changed now into form of water. It is changed again. So one question is there. Which type of change is that? It is a physical change. We have discussed in our previous lecture also. The melting of ice is physical change. Yes, because only the form is changed, only the state is changed. It is the solid state, and now the water which is formed here, it is the liquid state. But the H2O, the combination of water is HNO, H2O. That is not changed at all. In this ice form is also H2O. In water form is also H2O. But one question is arise here. Can we regain that ice cubes? Regain the ice cubes from that melted water? From that melted water, can we regain the ice? So I have transferred the water, melted ice in the bowl. I have transferred that melted water in the bowl. See here. So I will again form ice from that melted water. How? Students, one very important thing, note down that thing. Are you seeing sometimes the seller, the kulfi seller, ice cream sellers are roaming before our houses? Yes, have you seen? So, are they having any freeze? Are they having any electrical freeze? No. So, what they do for the freeze, for keep the that ice cream cold? What they do? They do one process. They add in that ice salt. Are you seeing which type of salt? It is a crystalline salt. It is a crystalline salt. They do add the salt. They do add the salt in that ice. I have added here salt in that ice. So what will happen after adding the salt? Immediately the temperature, yes, see here, immediately the temperature will be minimized. Yes, see here, the ice is is now joined. The pieces of ice are joined here immediately. Why? Because here the temperature of that ice is minimized here by adding salt in that. Means one freeze is formed here, one freeze is formed here, and if I will keep that bowl of that water inside that mixture of ice and salt, what will happen? Again, after some time, again it will become ice. Again that water will become ice. Now the freeze is formed. How? Because the temperature is minimized. How much minimize it? Minus 72 degree. Minus 72 degree it is, but having the temperature. Yes. Before that the ice also having the temperature 0 degree Celsius. But after adding salt in that ice cubes, what happened here? What happened? The temperature is minimized up to minus 72 degree. Minus 72 degree. It is too much less temperature and it is very enough to freeze the water and everything it can freeze. So, in such a way we can make freeze. Yes, and we can regain the ice from that water. So that this process is reversible. Again, we learn how the freeze is formed by adding the crystalline salt. Any type of salt we can add here. And here, my freeze is formed. My freeze is ready. Yes. So, this is one type of experiment. Again, I will do one experiment here. The activity number 6.4. The next activity, it is also related to water. But here we have to take hot water. We know that water can change into ice also, and it can change into vapor also. It can solidify also, it can vaporize also. Means in solid state also it can be changed, and also in gaseous state also it can be changed. So let's see one next activity. Here, boil water. Are you seeing water vapors? Yes. Are you seeing water vapors? So here, water is changed its form into vapors, means into gaseous state. So which type of change is that? This is the physical change. Only the state is changed here from liquid to gas. But the combination of that gas is not changed here. The combination of gas is not changed here. It is as it is H2O. So question is here, can we regain water from the vapors? Can we regain water from the vapors? What you are thinking? Yes, definitely we can regain again water from that vapors by the condensation process. What is meant by condensation process? When we cool down the water vapor, again by cooling process, by the condensation, we can get water reversely. Okay. So here I have reversed one bowl on that hot water glass. Yes. And after some time, I can see here some droplets of water are deposited. Some droplets of water are deposited inside that bowl. Are you seeing? Droplets of water are deposited here, and this is the condensation process. After cooling this vapor, again the water is formed here. Formed here. So this process is called condensation. Okay. So point is that we can regain water from the water vapor by the condensation process. So all that 4 activities we have seen, we have discussed here one by one. What was our first activity? We have made the pieces of papers, and it is also reversible process. We have discussed that. Again the second process, we have formed chalk from the dust of chalk again. Yes, so that it is a reversible process. Then again we have, yes, see here how cold it is that. Yes, we prepared freeze here by adding crystalline salt in that ice cubes, and what happened here, melted water I had, and I kept the bowl of that melted water inside the mixture of ice and crystalline salt. Why? Because now the temperature of that mixture is minimized up to -72 degree, and it is enough to freeze that water. So here the water, the melted water will freeze again and we will get ice again. Okay. So that is very important. How much temperature it obtained now? -72 degrees Celsius. So this was process, and last one we have discussed water vapors. Again we can gain water from that water vapor by the process of condensation. So this was about the physical change and about the activities related to physical changes. So that we have seen today in detail physical change and what can happen in the process of physical change. Yes, but sometime yesterday in our last lecture also we have discussed that sometimes though the physical process is reversible, but we can observe lady's finger. I have cut lady's finger. So can I join that lady's finger? No, I can't join that lady's finger. I couldn't join that lady's finger. But still, the nutrients remain as it is in that cut vegetable. So that it is a physical change, means the original property of that substance is not changed. When the original property of that substance not changed, it is also physical change. So I hope you are very clear about the physical and physical change. Today we have discussed in detail. So I will show an activity and you have to give answer of my question. We will discuss what question I have asked in our last lecture. That also we will discuss. But before that, here one process I will do here. Yes. So here I have taken water in one glass. Then it is a glass of water and it is a sugar. It is a sugar. Yes, it is a sugar, and I will add some sugar in that water. I will add some sugar in that water. Again, I will add some very little quantity of salt, common salt, NaCl in that. Yes, and I will stir it. What I am forming? What I am preparing here? What's going on? I am making lemonade. I am making lemonade. Wait, after some time I will squeeze lemon also in that. So now I just dissolve sugar and salt here. Now the salt and sugar is formed here. Okay. So now I will also add, what is that? Lemon. I will squeeze out lemon. I will squeeze out lemon in that. See, I am adding lemon juice. I am adding lemon juice in that. Are you seeing that? So, again I am stirring that. So, what is the mixture? Which ingredients are here? First I have taken water. Yes, water I have taken at first, drinking water. Then I have added some sugar. Yes, Then I have added some common salt, very little quantity of common salt here I have added, and then I dissolve it very well up to complete dissolution. So when the complete solution is formed, I have squeezed lemon juice in that. I have squeezed lemon juice in that. Yes. And then what form? Lemonade is formed now. Very tasty lemonade is formed here. So the question is that this is the physical or chemical change. After mixing all that solution, or after mixing all that ingredients, now one new solution is formed here. Yes, one solution is formed here, particular lemonade is formed here. So that lemonade is which type of process? Physical process or chemical process? Means the change happened here. The change happened here after adding that ingredients. So which type of change is that? Physical or chemical? So find out the answer of my question and give me in our last lecture. Sorry, in our next lecture we will discuss about that question. Yes, which type of change is that? So in our last lecture I have asked one question. Very important question was that. So I have lighted candle. I have lighted candle, and I have asked you I have asked you the burning of candle is which type of change. So what you thought? What you thought? What is your answer? What is your answer? The burning of the candle is which type of change? Physical or chemical, or the both changes happen here? What is your answer? So now I will give the answer and check yourself. What is your answer? So this burning of candle is a physical change we can observe easily. Initially we can observe the wax is melting here, the wax is melting here. So that melting of that wax is a physical change. Melting of that wax is a physical change. And again it's somehow reversible also. Yes, we can reuse that melted wax again. Yes, so that we can say it is a physical change. But simultaneously it is a chemical change also. It is a chemical change also. Why? Because the burning of in that burning process, two substances are formed here. Which that two substances? Here heat energy we are getting here. Heat energy. So heat energy is released. Means one thing is heat energy. New thing is formed. Heat energy, and again carbon dioxide gas is releasing here. Carbon dioxide gas is releasing here. Yes. So two new substances are formed here through the burning of that candle. Through the burning process of that candle. So because of forming new substances, we can say it is a chemical change, as well it is a physical change also, because the melting of wax is physical change. And why the carbon dioxide and energy, heat energy is releasing here? Why these two things are formed here, new things are formed here? Because the wax is the material, the wax is the compound. Which type of compound? It is a hydrocarbon. It is a hydrocarbon. Means the compound made up of combination of hydrogen and carbon. It is the combination of hydrogen and carbon. That's why it is called hydrocarbon. And whenever the hydrocarbon burn, whenever any carbon compound burn, two things are happening there. Always two things happen there. Two things. Which two things? Heat energy is released there. Heat energy released there. And again, the second thing, carbon dioxide always released there. Yes. So these new substances we get here through the burning of hydrocarbon, and the wax is nothing but hydrocarbon. That's why it is physical as well chemical change, means both changes are happening here. It's very important process. So have you got that burning process, burning of candle? So it is very important. Note down that thing also. Okay, whenever the hydrocarbon burn, what happened? Heat energy released there, and again with the release of carbon dioxide. Yes, and the wax is made up of hydrocarbon. It is a long chain of hydrocarbon. So you will again learn that thing in detail in your 10th standard, so that it's very important, and note down this. Okay. So I hope you understood well about the physical changes. About the physical changes, definitely you understood. Still, you have to learn all that topic, all that things, all that activities from your textbook, and you have to perform that experiment yourself at your home. Okay, this is homework for you. Thank you.